Okay, so first we're going to watch for angle of the arms on entry. Okay, so you can see right through here we've got a good, maybe a little bit more than 90 degrees, which is great. You don't want to do anything more than 90 degrees. Apparently it's you can't recruit as many motor units. So that's about the angle we have going on with your arm. So that's great, between 90 and like 120. Palms facing straight down, which is excellent. That way you're going to be able to propel yourself through the water the most. As soon as your palm starts, kind of flattening out and getting parallel with the surface of the water, you lose your propulsion and therefore velocity, needed velocity. We'll look here at that left arm. If you notice, you're starting to press down with a straight arm, which is fine. But what you may want to do is try and bend that elbow a little bit earlier, right around here, because by bending that elbow a little earlier and bringing that forearm down, you're going to get that 90-degree angle to the surface of the water. Okay, so let's say that's the surface. If we get your forearm 90 degrees, and then you're pushing the water back, that's going to propel you forward. Whereas right now, if you look, this arm is pressing down. So when your arm presses down, all that does is move your body up a little bit, which is great for getting lift out of the water. But you're already pretty high in the water, so I would say propulsion is going to be your primary objective. Right here, I want you to see the amount of crossover that happens. So here's the midline of your body. And we can see how much that hand goes across. So one thing we could do is possibly try and move that arm out just a little bit. And you can do that by keeping your elbow a little bit more towards the surface of the water. Just kind of push that elbow out to the side as you pull. Here we come through, and then now we can see the side view. Again, great reach. Okay, body's nice and in line. That arm may be just a little straight. We could try and bend that elbow a little bit more because it only starts bending right about there. We want it to bend just a little bit earlier. So now you can see how that hand, we're looking at your right hand, how your hand is starting to angle down a little bit. That's great. If anything, try and get it down even more of an angle with the wrist. If you can get your whole forearm into it as well, even better. But as soon as that palm, again, those fingertips are pointed straight down and you're pushing back, that water is going to push you forward. It's like John Madden here. Good 90-degree angle. You can see those fingertips are facing down. Awesome. So here's where you're on a velocity curve. This is going to be the most amount of velocity from here till here. So what we want to do is try and start it earlier. So maybe bend that elbow, keeping your upper arm stationary, and then just bending that elbow and bringing that arm down a little bit. Good press. And we can see how that hand is starting to recover forward that way. We want that hand to exit while it's still going backwards. So you want it to exit out like that. You don't want it to come forward at all. See how it's starting to come like that? So think about keeping those fingertips or that hand perpendicular and pushing it all the way back until it goes past your leg. See if that helps. That's great. You can see how that palm is facing behind. So here's where you're propelling yourself the most. And you can see how that hand starts to turn in. So what we want to do is keep it like that as long as possible.